Thank you so much for joining me here at the live desk. I am Janae Hancock. We do have some breaking news coming into the KCTV5 newsroom. A top Dallas retail operator wants to buy the Country Club Plaza. So with all of that being said, I do want to turn things over to Kevin Collison. He is with City Scene KC, and he is actually going to be our new weekly guest here at the live desk to talk about all of the unique stories that he is working on. Hey, Kevin, how's it going?
Thanks.
Good, good, good. So, Kevin, I talk about, the fact that you are going to be our weekly guest to talk about all of your unique stories, and one of them has to do with the Country Club Plaza today. We know that you broke this story. Tell us what you know so far right now.
What I've been told, I mean, just a quick background: the owners of the plaza right now, Taubman Properties in Massrich, defaulted on their loan back in May, and their lender has been looking for a new person to come in or a new operator to come in. And there's been some rumbling over the past few weeks that something was imminent, and then I found out from a couple of very reliable sources that a company out of Dallas that runs the Highland Park Village shopping center there. They're called HP Partners, and the main person is a man named, I need to double check, Ray Washburn. And anyway, they bought the Highland Park Village shopping center about 10 years ago, and it's a very comparable shopping center to the plaza. It was built in 1931. It's got Spanish style architecture. It's smaller than the plaza, but it's a very upscale, very highly regarded shopping center in the Highland Park neighborhood of Highwood Park, I should say, of Dallas. And anyway, they are now in negotiations with the lender to acquire the Country Club Plaza, and a lot of people tell me they would be an excellent owner for it because they've got some great experience and they have an interesting connection. The wife of Mr. Washburn is a descendant of H.L. Hunt of the Hunt family, the same family who Lamar and Clark Hunt are the owners of the Chiefs. So they've got that interesting Hunt connection to Kansas City.
Yeah, I was going to touch on that interesting connection with the Hunt family as well. But, you talk about their reputation, and Ray Washburn and the HP Village Partners, they have the same style, like you mentioned, and they have luxury retailers in Dallas. And I just want to name a few: Chanel, Jimmy Choo, as well as Dior. But we do know that the current owners of the Country Club Plaza right now, they actually defaulted on their $295 million loan back in May. How much is the potential new owner offering right now, if we have that information?
Well, we don't have that information. I did ask. I was told that they're going to get it for a substantially less price than $295 million. What I'm being told by people in the real estate business familiar with this deal is that if these guys can move forward, HP Village Partners would be able to acquire the plaza for an amount of money that would then allow them to hopefully do some back repairs that are needed for the buildings. The plaza turned 100 years old this year, and it's got a lot of deferred maintenance, and maybe offer some more competitive rents to get the kind of interesting, unique tenants into the plaza that most people remember it and lament that a lot of them have left.
And if all goes well, the purchase could be finalized by the end of this year. Is that correct?
That's what I've been told, right?
Awesome. Okay, so I also want to touch on this, that we have not heard from a representative for the HP Village Partners. They declined to comment today, and we also know that the Country Club Plaza representatives could not be reached for comment as well. So we are going to leave that story where it is, because we do have much more coming up during our evening newscast from KCTV5's Morgan Mobley, so be sure to tune in to that. But I do also want to talk about another interesting story that you are focusing on, your website, City Scene KC. Tell us a little bit more about the river cruise operator that may be sailing into Kansas City.
Well, last week the Port KC board, which is the Port KC runs the riverfront, and anyway, I don't know why I'm drifting here, but they on their agenda they had a item that said that they want to look into building a floating dock on the Berkeley riverfront because they've been approached by a potential river cruise operator. And we're not talking about somebody that would just have a party boat that would sail around the river. We're talking about companies that actually offer cruises on the Mississippi River, the Ohio River, and they're thinking about expanding onto the Missouri. And they would like to come to Kansas City as a potential port of call. And one of the things that they're really interested in is that these are pretty wealthy people who do these kinds of river cruises. They cost several $1,000s. And we're going to hopefully by 2025 have the streetcar extended to the riverfront. And so the idea is these people could put ashore at the Berkeley Riverfront Park and then get on the streetcar and they could go downtown, they could go to Midtown, they could go to the plaza, they could go as far as UMKC if they want. And also they could arrange for tours, which are some of the things that people like these like to do, to maybe the Truman Library or the World War I museum and monument and other kinds of attractions like that. So it could potentially be a great source of tourism here in town. And anyway, so it's still very preliminary. I don't know who the operator would be. There are three big companies that do cruises on the Missouri and the Mississippi River, including Viking, which we always see their ads all the time. And anyway, so it's kind of an intriguing thing. And they're also thinking that maybe they could stop off at places like Jefferson City and Herman and Lexington as part of the whole cruise down the Missouri to get to Kansas City.
And the river cruise industry, it's really growing. I know I just went on a few just in the past few years, but this is going to bring a lot of money here into the Kansas City area if it happens.
It could potentially, yeah. These are folks who can afford $4,000 or $5,000 for a week cruise on a river or 2 weeks, whatever. So these are tourists that have some money, and it could definitely bring in some great new revenues to our local tourism industry.
Awesome, Kevin. Well, I'm not going to take up too much of your time because I know you also have a busy schedule ahead of you, but I want to thank you so much for joining me here at the Live Desk. And like I mentioned, for all of our viewers, you can catch Kevin here on the Live Desk every Wednesday throughout the year, the rest of the year, we should say, just to talk about the unique stories that he is working on. And these are some two hot stories right now, especially on social media. So thank you so much, Kevin, for taking the time.
Oh, Janae, it was a pleasure.
Awesome. I'm going to leave you all with this live shot overlooking the Country Club Plaza as we look ahead to our evening newscast.